Hello, listeners and friends. Today I will continue to tell you the story of the four great mysteries: haunting details, mysterious murderers that have made investigators have headaches for many years in Hong Kong. Despite its reputation as a safe city, Hong Kong is not short of mysterious cases, some of which would confuse even Detective Sherlock Holmes. Number 1, the Happy Valley Cardboard Box Murder, 1975. Happy Valley is the area of wealthy immigrants in Hong Kong. In 1975, a case occurred here that seemed to mark a breakthrough in forensic technology, but ultimately brought pain to the victim, suspect, lawyer, and even the police. The case began when 16-year-old high school student Pin Yuk Ying was found in a cardboard box used to hold a television. The body had knife wounds to the chest and genitals, but no sexual assault. Police later arrested Ao Young Ping Kung, 28, a husband and father of a young child. Ao Young ran an ice cream shop that Pin and her friends often visited. This was the first case in Hong Kong where a court found a defendant guilty based on forensic evidence. Specifically, the prosecutor based the case on evidence collected at the scene without any witnesses or confessions. What was the evidence? It was the fibers in the victim's fingernails that matched Ao Young's clothing. This led to his conviction for murder, which resulted in a death sentence that was later commuted to life in prison. To this day, Ao Young and his family still firmly believe he is innocent. According to SCMP, netizens have been discussing for years the unconvincing evidence used to convict Ao Young. They raised questions about the motive for the murder. More importantly, the suspect's fingerprints were not found on the cardboard box, and only 7 of the 269 fibers on the body matched the material of Ao Young's clothes. According to SCMP, it seems that investigators were under pressure to quickly close the case, taking it as a breakthrough in the first use of forensic evidence. Defense lawyer Henry Hu Hung-lik, founder and executive director of Shu Yan Private University, still believes his client is innocent many years later. Meanwhile, another famous lawyer, Ronnie Tong Kawa, who tried to help Ao Young appeal but failed, told the media that his client once said in tears, "I am innocent." Since then, Tong has never taken on criminal cases again. The ice cream shop owner was arrested in 1975 and released from Stanley Prison in 2002. After nearly 30 years behind bars, the man never thought he was guilty and that the culprit was still out there somewhere. Number 2, naked body in Sim Sha Tsui, 1975. A 25-year-old woman known as Tam was reported missing from Windsor Mansion, Sim Sha Tsui, after only 2 months of marriage. The police were informed by Tam's husband that she had not returned home after work at a garment factory in San Po Kong on the 5th of June, 1975. The victim was later found naked, gagged, and bound. Her body had wounds on her chest and lower body, but no signs of sexual assault. Based on the scene, the police suspected that the motive for the murder was lust or revenge, and they began investigating Tam's 2 ex-boyfriends. One had emigrated to the United States, the other was a jade engraver. However, no arrests were made. After 10 months of investigation and a series of sensational articles, the police finally offered a reward of $10,000 for any clues that could lead to the arrest of the perpetrator. Unfortunately, the case remains a heartbreaking mystery for Tam's family and friends. Number 3. Bodies in a flower bed in Causeway Bay, 1984. On the 31st of March 1984, residents of a residential area in Causeway Bay reported to the police a strong stench coming from a neighbor's flower bed. Investigators spent more than 3 hours breaking down the cement flower bed. They eventually discovered 2 badly decomposed bodies, covered in blood-stained cloth and stacked on top of each other. The victims' hands were tied behind their backs, while their heads and bare feet were also wrapped in chains and cloth. The 2 victims were later identified as being from Singapore: George Chiasoon Seng, 27, and his brother Stephen Chiasoon Huat, 32, wealthy heirs to a prominent jeweler's family in the area. The Chia family was believed to have been embroiled in a money dispute with a group of Indonesian businessmen in Singapore. With their business unfinished, the Chia family fled to Hong Kong to rebuild their fortune. Police believe the 2 Singaporean brothers were kidnapped on March 2nd. In mid March, a recording and photos of the brothers' brutally tortured arms were sent to the Chia family. The kidnappers wanted millions of Singapore dollars in ransom. However, the images were completely faked because the two victims' arms showed no signs of being beaten. As for the Chia family, they transferred 1 million Singapore dollars, more than 17 billion VND at the current exchange rate, but sadly their loved one was still murdered. The case has so far had no new developments regarding the identity of the perpetrator, nor the motive for the brutal act. Number 4. Murder of Yacht Club Manager, 2002. On the 17th of December 2002, the body of Nip Ho Mo Ling, known as Judy, 41, manager of the Royal Yacht Club in Hong Kong, was found in a pool of blood. Covering the body were large black garbage bags taken from the office in Causeway Bay. According to the police, the wounds on both sides of the victim's head indicated that the murder weapon was a blunt, heavy, non-sharp object. However, the fatal wound was from one of the stab wounds to the neck. There were signs of a struggle at the scene, while many of Judy's personal belongings were missing, including her handbag, platinum ring, watch, black wallet, ID card, 3 bank cards, and a gray jacket. The victim, Judy, had 9-year-old twin boys when the incident occurred in 2002. Judy was last seen outside the club's office at 6:45 p.m. on December 16th. The time of death was determined to be around 10 p.m. that night. The woman had worked for the yacht club for 20 years, mainly responsible for arranging moorings and organizing fierce competitions. About 40 police officers and 2 sniffer dogs were mobilized to search the yacht club's office, but still could not find the murder weapon. The case has been unsolved for nearly 7 years. Despite its reputation as a safe city, Hong Kong is not short of mysterious cases. Some of them would even baffle Sherlock Holmes. According to statistics from the Hong Kong police, 55% of large and small cases in the first half of 2018 remained unsolved. And like anywhere in the world, unsolved cases in Hong Kong gradually become urban stories. Each teller has his own hypothesis. But anyway, for the majority of the public, mysterious cases remind us to cherish more the happy time with friends and relatives, to fight against the seeds of crime, and to aim to solve all problems and conflicts in life in the most humane way. In addition, mysterious cases are occasionally published in the press as a shock to investigators, causing them to revisit some dusty case files. Because, who knows, the truth will eventually be found with the help of new technology, and thus can somewhat ease the pain of the victims' families. Today, I have finished telling you the 4 great mysteries in Hong Kong. Although with advanced technology, it still happens with countless mysteries that even professional police cannot explain who the murderer is and why they killed the victims. After listening to my story, please leave your thoughts and support me by subscribing, liking, and turning on the notification bell so that I have the motivation to make other videos. Thank you, and see you again.